Welcome to Women of the Wild,
where education and opportunities are key,
and friendships are made to last a lifetime.
Did you get it?
You think we got him? You think we got him? We got him.
All right, Skylar, what do we got here?
We've got a nice looking rip-off.
Oh, there she is. Woo! You dropped our Weigold.
Give me a hug.
Welcome back to Season 2 Women of the Wild podcast. We would like to first start off by thanking our title sponsors for the 2024 year. Atlantic Coral Enterprise, one of the largest import dealers in the world with excellent quality for hides, skulls, shells, and amazing gifts for friends and family or even your household. You can find them at AtlanticCoralEnterprise.com. RM Custom Call, multiple world championships from Main Street to Live Duck. American made, veteran owned. When you want to win on the stage or in the blind, we have you covered. Small shop, big sound. You can find them at rmcustomcall.com or on Instagram. We also have Rhino Land Safaris, providing exceptional quality with unmatched hospitality and cuisine, offering African safaris, a destination hunt for the avid rifle or bow hunter with some of the best trophy management South Africa has to offer. You can find them at rhinoland.co.za or on Facebook, Instagram.
Hey everyone, Andy Lehman here from ACC Crappie Sticks. Just want to let you know about our crappie baits and jig heads. We have a wide selection of the hottest colors and big eye crappie jig heads in the most popular colors and sizes. Check them all out at accrappiesticks.com. Thank you.
And now for today's episode, we hope you enjoy. Welcome back to Season 2 Women of the Wild podcast. This is your host, Felicia Marie. And today I have with me Miss Hannah Weigold from our staff program. And she's from the west side of Michigan. Hi, Miss Hannah.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. We are actually on an event right now. We are on one of the women's steelhead trips over in the Manistee area in Northwest Michigan. Really excited for this event. It's our first steelhead event. We have a group of girls coming out. And we have a really great captain, but we wanted to come to you guys and give you kind of a quarterly update of what we've been up to, what's coming, and also kind of reach out to our listeners to see what you want to see coming next. We grow because of all of you, and we're very aware of what others are wanting and what they want to see. And we've really put that into play, as you'll see in the 2024 year and even our 2025 year. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about all the great stuff coming up. In a dilemma because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, but it's been really exciting already this year, from going out to Texas for Sandhill Crane. I didn't get to go to that, but we've been doing a lot of different stuff. Going to NWTF, I met up with you there and we got to network with some people. Got to talk to some others through social media. So we have some great guests coming up and I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I'm just happy to see that we're growing and happy to have boots on the ground, getting the miles in that we need.
Yes. Like you said, we started with Sandhill Cranes in Texas in January. Then we rolled into some pheasant hunts and some shotgun clinics for the girls. That was a really incredible class. Wing and Clay Magazine, Muzzy Pheasant Farm. Awesome. Always wonderful to team up with them. We are a Michigan-based company, but we travel throughout the United States and even internationally. So for those who see our events and you see so many popping up in Michigan, it's because Michigan is really that main hub for our girls. We have several PRs here in the state of Michigan, but we have girls in Ohio, New York, Kansas, And Texas, I mean, and we're still adding more. We know that there's that demographic that we're not hitting yet. We want to be able to serve these girls with what they want to see, but also our youth. We're not limited to just youth and women. We do a lot to support our female veterans. We do a lot to bring that family entity together in the outdoors. So we do co-ed events. We have these 2 steelhead trips in the month of March. And then moving on from that, we have a CPL class in April. We have walleye in April. We have walleye in May 4th, and then May 5th, we have our annual catch and cook. That one's really neat and something that is just a really great piece of camaraderie for the girls. We team up with Blast and Cast Guide Service, with Dreamcatcher Charters, with Michigan Guide Service, and we take 3 boats out or more, depending on how many sign up for the event. But we get a whole group out. We go walleye fishing all day, and then we come in and we go to a restaurant where they cook our fish, and we get to just have a really great time. And then, gosh, from there, we're going to roll over to South Africa again for our 2nd annual South African Safari co-ed trip. And we got more to come about that one. So just stay tuned. If you want to go to South Africa, we got you covered for 2025 too. We have flying carp
Super exciting.
in July. We got I missed June. We got multi-species and muskie coming up in June with Michigan Guide Service. We have so many sturgeon.
A lot of stuff.
Yes.
A lot of sturgeon, diver ducks, Texas exotic hunt is coming up, and that is going to be the beginning of August. Really debating on going on that one just to get back to Texas because I kind of miss it a little bit, especially after the winter we've had here. It's been hit or miss, but I want to go be a little warmer.
I think it's a lot of bit there.
Yeah, a lot of bit different. So there's that women's exotic hunt that we have coming. Like I said, we have diver duck trips coming up, bunch of different stuff. So I'm really excited to just get everything going. And it's been a little bit of, I don't want to say a shamble to get everything figured out, but we have a lot going on and it's going to be great. So I'm excited for this year.
Yeah, and we have some really great teaming up this year. So we're going to be hosting some firearm classes. We're going to dive into more than just hunting and fishing. We're going to do some clay shoots. We're going to do some hunter's ed courses, some trapping classes. We're going to do workshops. We have the online, every single month we're hosting an online course. Those are just $5. We have the education in identifying tracks and scat coming up in the month of March, and it's going to talk a little bit into scouting. And then straight from that event, we're going to roll over into an online preseason Gear Up for Your Hunt. We're going to be Megan Lockwood, one of our staff members from Ohio. She is an avid outdoorsman, avid DIY public land. She's going to dive into mapping. We have some really great things from Onyx coming with that event for all the people that are registered. We're going to talk about all of that and just really dive into units and draws and anything that you want to learn to get out there and DIY hunt. We also have this year our newsletter. Hannah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so our newsletter basically goes over everything that we have coming up. You'll get a sneak peek on things before they get posted, online classes, events, and in-person classes. When you have the newsletter, you have full access to every single online class that we have, whether that be you attend it or you get the recording. You will get that with the promo code through that newsletter, along with gear and different stuff through our sponsors. So it's definitely a really fun and exciting thing to get in your email once a month, as well as it gets you a little bit ahead of the ball if you're itching to see what's coming out before we talk about it publicly. So it's definitely something that you should check out. I know we don't promote it a whole lot on the website, but we are going to start kind of putting it out there and making sure that you guys see it.
Yeah, and monthly recipes and
monthly recipes,
showcases. So for those that don't know, we host a cookbook that is supporting women in the outdoors, cooking wild game, whether they're gardening, whether they're fishing. We have our volume 2 that is currently on the website. It's $35, but this cookbook, it's incredible. It's a nice thick book. It's over 100 pages. Recipes of appetizers, entrees, desserts, you name it, it's in there. It's a really great book. We'll be having the next one for volume 3 coming up, where you can submit your recipes. You can actually go online right now to www.womenofthewild.net, and you can scroll down and you can start submitting your recipes now for the 2025 cookbook. We also have the calendar that's going to be launching again this June. This is our 3rd year running the calendar, that it's supporting women, showcasing women in the outdoors, all shapes and sizes, doesn't matter your age. We want to see those young girls out there. We want to see all walks of life out there. So if you want your image showcased, wait for that. Stay tuned. We have a private women's group on Facebook. That one's pretty awesome. It's a great way for us to connect, to not have any judgment, that we can come to each other as peers and ask those questions. But we also have some other cool things that we're working on the back end. Do you want to give the girls a heads up about the closet?
Yeah, so we're going to be coming out with a private page that is dedicated to resale for hunting and fishing gear. So it's going to be really nice because it's women's based stuff, and
it's going to be awesome. So it'll all be coming out probably closer to the fall. So stay tuned from that we're going to have the ability for these girls to resell their hunting gear, their fishing gear. It's all going to be outdoors related, but it's a really great way for you to maybe take that next step into your next set of camo. Maybe, you've gone with some of these other brands and now you want to branch out, but you're like, oh, I still have it. It's going to be a great resource for the girls to connect. That's in the works. I'd love to dive into this flying carp trip in Illinois, because this has been in the works for going on 3 years now. And we finally got it knuckled down. A big thing that we focus on Women of the Wild is quality over quantity. So when you are coming on an event with us, know that it has been very well planned out, that there is a process to everything we do, and we take the lodging to your meals and everything in between. We take it to heart. We want you to have the best time possible, and we want you to go with the best guides possible. So Mr. Hunter, that is the owner of Modified Outdoors Bow Fishing, he is centralized and based in Wisconsin, but he hosts these trips in Illinois for, I think, about 6 weeks out of the summer. And we locked this in finally, and it is just going to be a blast. Now we are doing infraction fishing. So we're going to be bow fishing through the water during the day. And then we're going to go back out for another round for nighttime, flying carp, shooting these carp aerial style with bows. It's going to be a blast, and really looking forward to that. We have the August hunt, the Texas exotic. Would really like to take a second to showcase that. That is something that we're kind of improving as we go, of taking that feedback of what others want. So this is a build your own hunt. This is a deposit. And then from there, there's a whole slew of animals, from axis to oryx to black buck, Watusi, rat cub, black Hawaiians, Pure Davids, Grant gazelles, springbuck, red sheep, fallow. I mean, literally, you name it. We got red lechwe, sable, aoudad, zebras. If you want it, come get it. If it's not on that list and it's something that you think you want, let us know and we'll let you know if we can get it. But also, a cool thing about this hunt is it's $1,000 deposit. And that $1,000, it covers your meals, your lodging, your guide fee. It covers all the gear and preparation you're going to need, because it's going to be an education. So it's for anyone that wants to learn how to quarter and process to skin, how you want to learn to maybe trophy prep. If you want to go DIY hunt, it seems kind of odd that we're going to take you to a high fence to teach you, but it's going to be a controlled environment where we're going to be able to teach you how to properly trophy prep your animals and get them ready for, if you go on your, out west elk hunt, that you're properly taking care of that animal to bring it back home to your taxidermist. We want to set you up with the best skills possible. Girls are leaving with over $750 in merchandise from that. And then the animal is just whatever you want to do. And if you choose, you don't want one of the trophies from the list, there is an option where you can do hogs and predators only for $455. If you do a trophy, the hogs and predators are included, but if you don't want to, it's just that additional $455 for the hogs and predators, which is pretty awesome because that's unlimited for both the predators and the hogs.
Share your love of the outdoors with your little ones through the exciting adventures in Dr. Josh Farr's children's books. As an avid sportsman, Dr. Josh Farr has taken his passion for the outdoors and uses his vivid storytelling to teach valuable lessons and appreciation of the world. Learn the alphabet through the ABCs of hunting. Find joy in exploring the outdoors with Let's Go Out and Play and more. You and your child will love learning about nature with Dr. Josh Farr. See all of his books now at drjoshfarr.com. That's drjoshfarr.com.
Weeby Knives, a brand of skinning, fleshing, and butchering knives perfect for the hunters, trappers, and fishermen, with a unique high-quality knife for animals of all shapes and sizes. You can find them and more information at weebyknives.com or on Facebook, Instagram. Stonehouse Digital Consulting. Elevate your small business with Stonehouse's expert marketing solutions. Ignite your online presence and thrive with a tailored strategy to drive your growth. You can find them and more information at stonehousedigitalconsulting.com or on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Livingston County Pheasants Forever, Chapter 465, with a mission to conserve pheasant, quail, and other wildlife through habitat improvements, public access, education, and conservation. You can contribute by joining the meetings on the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. at the Howell American Legion Hall on the corner of M59 and Grand River. For more information and to get involved, you can find them at pf465.com or on Facebook, Instagram. Dreamcatcher Charters, a Michigan-based guide service for walleye, sturgeon, and duck hunting, with a passion that drives their success, sharing the phenomenal Michigan waterways with everyone. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram. Feather Moon Outdoors, offering calls made from select materials. Every pot is fine-tuned in the house using the highest quality materials available. Also offering diaphragm, slate, glass, grunt calls, and more. For more information, you can find them at feathermoonoutdoors.com or on Facebook, Instagram. Stay tuned, more podcasts to come. But yeah, that's going to be a great event. I'm actually one of the guides for that event, so I'm super stoked because that education and guiding is what I love to do. And Hannah, you've got to experience that out in Texas with me.
Yeah.
But we have sturgeon events coming up, and those, gosh, they're just like hotcakes. You can't keep them on. So we do have some of those coming up. Hannah, why don't you tell the girls about some of these sturgeon trips, because you've been on a few.
Yeah, so the sturgeon trips are definitely, it was on my bucket list, and it is not what you think it would be, but it's not anything overly dramatic in any sort of way. So I went out back in late August last year, and we went out, had dinner, and met up with everybody, got to know each other, went out and got out on the boat and hung out, got to enjoy the views, and then the fish started hitting. And these fish are something else. So I grew up catching salmon, steelhead, lake trout, things like that. So I'm used to a good fight, but this is something completely different. They hit that rod and they stay on the bottom, and it is really fun when they start running and staying down low. It's definitely a workout. It's great to take turns if you need to. I know some of the girls, and myself included, that rod digs in. They have that bumper that you can put on for your waist wherever you put the end of the rod. But it's just great camaraderie. Everyone's so excited. The fish will get to the boat. Someone will say something about it running, and you're like, don't you dare. And then it just takes off again. So it's really fun. I got to start off with a small one, which I was excited about because they're just so different.
Mhm.
Like the little ones are nice and
All
bony and pokey and really wild looking. And then the big ones are just smooth and pure muscle. And it was really cool because we got to see the sea lamprey as well. So there were a lot of those guys on there. Yeah. And I think it was like 1 a.m, 2 a.m. Everyone was getting tired, kind of energy level was going down. So I was like, all right, everybody, I'm going to stick this lamprey on my wrist and have a great time. And I had to gas myself up a little bit, but I did it. And it was a great story to tell. I'm going to be getting a tattoo just to commemorate that. And I'll probably do it again. And more than one.
And Miss Hannah's over here showing you the education of the damage of a lamprey.
Yeah. So they're not great for the fish. If you get them in the boat, you take them, you put them down, cut the head off, just get rid of them. Just because usually the size that they're on these sturgeon, they run up the river to spawn, basically, with the sturgeon. So you want to take care of them. So you're doing your part too and helping get rid of that invasive species. So it's a good little twist.
So this was probably like 4 years ago, but I saw a Fish and Wildlife truck that said not all superheroes wear capes, and they were eradicating lampreys. And I was like, yes, because so many people don't understand the damage that lampreys have, and not just on sturgeon, but so many fish. I had a pike, gosh, it was like 2-3 years ago. I caught a pike that had like 3 gnarly holes in it from lamprey, and it just causes so much damage to the fish, and we want to protect those fish. So for those that are listening, we do both of our muskie and our sturgeon trips that we host are catch and release, but it's just such that iconic fish that you're chasing dinosaurs. To be able to finally put your hands on a fish that has been around for as long as it has been, it's just a stellar experience. It really is. I know, like, I've taken my mom out with us, and a lot of our girls on staff have gone and done them. We've taken girls from all over the US for them, and we look forward to having several more events this year. But that one seems to be like a hot commodity for us. Like, that's such a fun event. There's so much camaraderie. We offer it as single night trips, and we do have a weekend trip coming up. So stay tuned for those dates. They'll be posting probably within the next month or so. And we just have so much coming, and really excited for what 23 provided us, and now 24, and it's giving us that bright light for 25 even. But I don't know, Hannah, you were kind of the prodigy of all of this. So it's really exciting to have you on and talk to you, because you did your very first hunt with us 3 years ago now.
Yeah, I believe it was 3 years ago.
And it was an educational goose hunt. So you've morphed into this extreme huntress, and you're out here just crushing it. I mean, even through your entire pregnancy, you're in the mountains chasing aoudad, you're out fishing, catching salmon, you're catching sturgeon and deer hunting, and you're just Billy Badass over here. For our turkey that we did together in the spring, you got that monster. Like, this girl, you want to hear what Women of the Wild does for you, she can tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of ironic too, because I found Women of the Wild basically just Google searching sturgeon trips. So it was, close to my birthday, and I was like, I kind of want a little treat for myself. So a sturgeon, like I said, was always something I wanted to do. Looked it up. I missed the events for that year, but I was like, okay, I want to learn how to waterfowl hunt. No one would take me out. Just because I was uneducated, and some people are a little iffy about that, which is understandable. But I got out, I got to learn, what I'm doing, how I have to do it. We didn't get any birds, but it was a great experience. I got to meet all these wonderful people that I now get to call my friends. My first actual waterfowl hunt was diver ducks, and I got my first ducks doing that. And I think I didn't really understand how big of an accomplishment that was, just because it's diver duck hunting. And if you guys tuned in last week or the week before to the podcast with Connor Barr with Dreamcatcher Charters, Felicia and him kind of go over that too, just like how wonderful and amazing, and it really kind of kickstarted that passion for me. So it's been all downhill here downhill for me, not really. But I just keep uphill. I keep going down the rabbit hole, but I love it. It's a great time. So I've been out for waterfowl, love doing my waterfowl. Got out and got my first tom. My first ever turkey was a Jake, and that was about 8 years ago now. So it was a while, and I went out a couple times myself. I was like, I'm not super confident, but I didn't have anyone to bring me. So it was a great chance to kind of learn and build that confidence in myself. So this year I'm going to try and do it solo. The aoudad was definitely something else. I miss it and also don't miss it, but I want to go back. When I think about it, it's like it didn't actually happen, because it was just something so far out, especially being just a West Michigan girl deer hunting.
And 8 weeks pregnant.
So I'm really proud of myself for that. Sturgeon, salmon, deer hunting this year, marking a bunch of different species off my list for waterfowl, and just having a great time. So I can't wait to see what trips you convince me to go on. The Texas trip looks super fun. I didn't have any interest personally in any of the trophies. That's just my personal preference, but I do want to get some hogs and predators and just have a great time. The lodge looks amazing. I know all the gear is going to be fantastic, and I just can't wait to get myself out there and hang out with some wonderful women and make some new friends and get my hands dirty.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit it all there. You've done every event that we've ever done, you've dug into.
Oh yeah, the crane. I missed the crane.
Yeah.
I was really sad I couldn't make it this year, but baby was like
3 months old?
like 2 months old.
October? Yeah, he was
Yeah.
little tyke.
Yeah, he was a little guy, so my nerves didn't really let me think I could leave yet, but I'm getting a little bit better, you know. Fresh baby, you're like, I can't do it. Next time we go, whenever, I don't know what month you have planned, December, January, that's my plan, is to go back, because that's such a wild ride and I am all out of crane and I'm very sad about it.
We'll definitely have another crane. That's another annual event that we do. We have a few that we do annually, and it's the Sandhill Crane. We also have, obviously, our pheasant hunts. Those are a really big commodity for us. We do quite a few of them throughout the fall and then into the spring. We have our annual South Africa trip and our annual sturgeon trips that we do. So there's certain events that we will hold every single year, and some that we just hold near and dear because it was some of what we kind of got us started with Women of the Wild. So it's important to us to stay true to our roots and making sure that every girl gets the experience to go fight those fish or chase their dream animal, or even just the experience. And now to the final segment to this week's episode of Women of the Wild podcast. We will conclude this segment by thanking our closing sponsors. Stay tuned for more of this week's episode after this short word from our sponsors. Muzzy Pheasant Farms, a mid-Michigan family-owned and operated pheasant game preserve that is open year-round. Muzzy offers educational courses and hunts. They are family-oriented, creating a great opportunity for new and seasoned upland hunters. With no membership required, come hunt with Muzzy Pheasant Farms. You can find more information at muzzypheasantfarms.com or check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Blast and Cast Guide Service is a veteran-owned and operated Michigan-based guide service for the Great Lakes. With decades of experience of fishing and waterfowl, they ensure a safe and enjoyable trip every time. You can check them out at blastandcastguideservice.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Ultimate Veteran Adventures. UVA offers outdoor therapy, recreation, and camaraderie through hunting and fishing adventures around the country for veterans, active duty military, Gold Star families, and first responders. You can find them at ultimateveteranadventures.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Sawmill Creek Bait and Lures, a husband and wife owned and operated company, the home of the C4, one of the best trapping canine lures on the market. You can find them at sawmillcreekbaitandlures.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Wicked 7 Outdoors, a Southwest Texas outfitter guide service with an exceptional care and quality of backcountry mountain hunts for free-range aoudad. Also offering high fence and low fence exotics, come immerse yourself in the outdoor experience. You can find Wicked 7 Outdoors on Facebook and Instagram. Misguided Outdoors is a female-driven Michigan-based guide service offering turkey and waterfowl hunts. Misguided is focused on educating women and youth, providing a hands-on hunt experience for all ages. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. We thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. Another thing that was kind of left out there, Hannah, is you joined our staff.
Yeah.
You've been on for just about a year now. And you've also became an educator on our online courses that you just hosted your first online course back in January. You want to tell them about that?
Yeah, so I have a basset hound named Roach. What we like to do in the fall when I'm not out in the woods is go and track deer for other hunters. So we usually meet up with friends or family. I just say a little something online like, hey, we need some training. We are registered through the state of Michigan, but I don't really charge anybody because this is just something fun that I like to do, volunteer my time, and it gets my dog out working. So it's great bonding for us. We sometimes bring the kids if it's good weather and if it's warm enough, usually early season, we'll bring the kids out and they'll just walk and follow and hang out. But we do it as a family too. So I did that online course and I went over basic education, getting your dog started, training tools that you need, different tools you need in the field with your dog. So like the harnesses, certain leashes, first aid, and then just getting yourself out there and understanding what you're doing. So that was really fun to do. I was really excited to do that. I know I was pestering you for, I think, a year and a half to let me do that.
It was a good event.
But
It was
I
a
had
good
really,
course.
yeah, I had fun, and I was super glad that the girls asked questions, and hopefully I can come up with something else to educate you guys on in the future. I just got involved with First Hunt Foundation with you as well for that introduction to, is it waterfowl or just goose hunt? Waterfowl that we're doing in the end of August.
Yes.
So that'll
Beginning
be
of
really
September.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a big step for me too, is I started out not knowing what I was doing, and within 2 years I'm super confident and really happy to share and get other women involved, because it's such a fun thing to do. My husband absolutely loves it. I absolutely love it. And it's a great time. So I'm happy to be able to provide that assistance and education for that upcoming.
Yeah. And you do a great job. You really do. You are a person that, like, you learn it, you absorb it, and then you're so willing to share it with others. So that was an event that we actually didn't talk about in all of this. Is August, the end of August, we're doing with teaming up with the First Hunt Foundation. I'm one of the liaisons for the state of Michigan, and Hannah has now joined as well. And we will be hosting a women's intro to waterfowl for first time waterfowl hunters. And it is going to be Friday come in, meet and greet, Saturday all day education, and then Sunday a hunt. That's going to be coming up and releasing. So if we have girls listening, or even guys listening, that you have a female that wants to get into waterfowl that hasn't dipped her toes in, send her out with us. Let us provide that education. One thing that we have really focused on is the education, because we really went through some generations that skipped all this education. And as we do these courses, we're learning kind of where that was missed and why it's so important. And Hannah, myself, as mothers, it's so important for us, and so many other women out there and team members. It's so important for us to share the outdoors with our children. And the conservation education is going to be the key to all of our conservation efforts for the future. So it's important to properly educate. And that way, when our butts are on the line, we're going to know how to defend it. And it's important to not only us, but like you, you're kind of one of those stories that I love to share whenever somebody asks, because you dove into hunting, you dove into the fishing, and then you got your husband involved, and now you have two little boys that are growing up in the outdoors. And myself, I have two little boys, and I'm always outdoors guiding even, and then bringing those two youngsters out with me. It's a way of life, and it brings so much maturity and education and respect that I think that these children are missing in front of a screen, or missing, getting lost in social media and what's trending. Get them out there, put them behind a duck call, put them behind a turkey call, get them out there and educate them. It doesn't even necessarily need to end in a harvest. If they're out there and they're having a good time with you, that's what's important. So these youth hunts at Muzzy, these fishing events, if we have in June, we have that second weekend in June, we have a free kids fishing event in Midland with the Midland Conservation District. It was huge. We had over 100 kids there last year. We're doing it again. It's going to be bigger and better this year. Get out there and bring the family with you. Bring your husband, bring your spouse, bring your neighbor, bring your kids. It's going to be a great time. And I really look forward to what 2024 brings us. We've had so much fun in the last couple of years with Women of the Wild, and it's still in its infancy. We're still growing. We want to hear from you. So if there's events that we haven't done, or locations, please know that we are working hard to hit a bigger demographic, but we want to do it right. So we apologize that maybe it hasn't came to you yet, but it will. We have several states in mind that we're already looking at events in. We have a lot of education that's going to be branching out through other states as well, and teaming up with other women's groups. One thing we need to learn as outdoorsmen, as outdoors women, is we stride better together. Joining hands and joining forces with these other groups. If we all have the same mission for education, then we are all in it together. There's no competition. Women of the Wild stands very, very true to that. It doesn't matter. We just want to get out in the outdoors. We want to do it safe. We want to educate you, and we want to have a good time. So with that being said, we are really just looking forward to this year.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen an event yet that you want to see, let us know. You can shoot us an email at womenofthewildoutdoors@gmail.com. We have merchandise on the website. We have our cookbook. All of that funding, we are on a completely volunteer staff, but all of that funding is what helps us provide those educational courses. It's what helps us provide in-person courses and funding for things like clays, shells, meals, those types of things for education purposes. But it also sponsors our female veterans out there. We like to do a few of those a year to just support and serve those who have served us. It's very important to us and something we all hold near and dear to our hearts. But go check us out, womenofthewild.net, and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Gosh, what other? We have Snapchat. Like, just if you're interested, get out there, find us, ask a friend, join a friend. It's a great time. Thank you for listening.